So for your first lesson on the book Sloth Slept On, what we'd like you to do is we'd like you to listen to the reading of the book again and listen very carefully for any fantastic words and phrases that you might hear. And as you're listening, what we'd like you to do is we'd like you to write them down on a bit of paper or in your book. And so this is an activity we've done lots of times in school. Whenever we have an English lesson, whenever we learn a new book, we always read through the book and children will write down any great vocabulary that they hear. So for instance, they might write down the word breakout because that's a great word that we found in the book. Or they might write down something like perhaps, because that's a great sentence opener. Or the word travelled. Or they might write down the word ferocious and adventures. So what we'd like you to do is to write down those great words and phrases, little sentence starters perhaps that you've heard from the book. And then we'd like you to come up with some sentences of your own using those words. So this is an activity that we've done lots and lots of times where we use the words from a book in new sentences. They could be about the sloth or they could be about something totally different. Now, if you want to challenge yourself even more, you can use some of the other techniques and the other things that we'd like to see in your writing. So you might try to use some contractions, words like don't, didn't, shouldn't, wouldn't. Perhaps you'll try using an exclamation mark. Maybe you could use a question mark, or you could use some conjunctions. So they might be our joining words like because, so that, whilst. So that's what we'd like to see today, is finding those great words, writing them down in your book, and then trying to use them in your own sentences.